So we've had a chance to define stress as a transaction or interaction between the stuff that happens to us and our cognitive and affective appraisal of that stuff. We've also had a chance to review Yerkes Dodson and their finding of a curvilinear relationship between stress and performance. We've also had a chance to talk about specific mechanisms in attention and memory encoding that impact the way we make decisions and ultimately the way we perform. Now let's talk a little bit about the things that we can do to protect ourselves against performance degradation under stress conditions. The first, dispositional optimism. Dispositional optimism, or the sense that one has about their own ability to affect change, their self-efficacy, if you will, is one factor that promotes positive cognitive appraisal, self-confidence, and a sense of mastery. Employing an emotional regulation strategy is another approach. For example, summoning anger or aggression when facing a physical opponent is a common tactic to mobilize adrenaline and effort. Turning fear and anxiety over to a higher power can act as a buffer to stress and preserve performance. Employing a schema-based instructional model helps reduce cognitive load through linking concepts to one another in a manner that facilitates memory and problem solving. For example, in the martial arts, if you're going to attack a pressure point on an opponent, there are three things you'll want to remember. Pressure points respond to pressure, angle, and direction. And in this way, linking those three concepts to the one overall behavior or activity as a performance element helps make each element, each subcomponent associated with the other. If you're going to attack a pressure point, you're going to remember, I've got to put pressure on the point, I've got to select an angle, and I've got to drive a direction to maximize the pain or discomfort exploited in the opponent's pressure point. There are physiological realities that separate each of us. Not all of us were born with the same talents and abilities, although I would agree that we all have gifts. In the same way, not all brains are built the same, and some people are simply more easily able to navigate stress and mobilize resources than others. Our ability to predict and control stress, as well as anticipate it, are strongly related to our abilities to manage it and maintain our performance. Ever go out on a run with a friend who's a runner, not know the distance or the pace that he or she wants to take the run? That's stress. That inability to anticipate and expect the pace or the distance or the time makes it almost impossible to manage your own energy. It increases anxiety, it increases stress. As soon as you know, oh, it's a 2-mile run, or it's a 5-mile run, or even a 10-mile run, it's going to be at this pace. That allows you to make an assessment of, is this realistic for me? And if it is, how do I manage my energy and manage expectations in my running partner? But without it, stress is high, performance tends to be low. The more experience or expertise one has in performing a given task, the more likely they are to navigate the stressors successfully. The more novel the task, the harder that will be. The presence of others can have a facilitative effect on well-known tasks, but degrade poorly learned or novel tasks. Lastly, when we understand and believe in what we're doing, even though it is stressful, that belief has a powerful effect on motivating performance and sustaining attitude. In the end, our ability to predict, control, anticipate, our ability to see around the corner of what comes next, our ability to manage expectation, draw upon past experience, our belief and perception in what we're doing, our sense of self-efficacy and mastery in the environment, all of those things and others go into reducing our stress and increasing our performance. To the degree in which we can evoke those things and draw them to be present in the moment, the greater the likelihood that we'll be successful and perform well.